Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. Today we'll be discussing Do Black Lives Matter? In order to evaluate this phenomena, we'll be firstly looking at the perspective of Malcolm X and together with the recent death of Floyd George in America. I hope you enjoyed this video.
The police are able to use the press to make the white public think that 90% or 99% of the Negroes in the Negro community are criminals. And once the white public is convinced that most of the Negro community is a criminal element, then this automatically paves the way for the police to move into the Negro community, exercising Gestapo tactics, stopping any black man who is on the sidewalk, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, whether he is well dressed or whether he is poorly dressed, whether he is educated or whether he is dumb, whether he's a Christian or whether he's a Muslim. As long as he is black and a member of the Negro community, the white public thinks that the white policeman is justified in going in there and trampling on that man's civil rights and on that man's human rights. Once the police have convinced the white public that the so-called Negro community is a criminal element, they can go in and question, brutalize, murder unarmed, innocent Negroes, and the white public is gullible enough to back them up. This makes the Negro community a police state. This makes the Negro neighborhood a police state. It's the most heavily patrolled. It has more police in it than any other neighborhood, yet it has more crime in it than any other neighborhood. How can you have more cops and more crime? Why?
A very serious escalation of disorder now in Whitehall, outside Downing Street. Metropolitan Police have just brought in mounted officers who've just mounted a charge down Whitehall from the War Memorial down towards the Cenotaph. You can see one of the officers has been knocked off his horse. That horse is now bolted up Whitehall. There are bottles and other objects being thrown at the mounted officers there on Whitehall itself. To the side of Whitehall in Downing Street, the other police officers who were guarding the front of Downing Street have gone into full riot kit and have brought their riot shields out as well. You can see, in fact, another line of public order trained officers there in full riot gear, now just mounting a charge or at least a fast walk down Whitehall to push the crowds back. This really happened about 20 minutes or so ago. It started to get very wet here with torrential rain and thunderstorms, and at that point the crowd really turned. They started throwing bottles and other objects at the officers who were outside the front of Downing Street. They then retreated inside Downing Street to be replaced by those officers in more protection who've just come out now. And of course you can see the other officers here on Whitehall and the officers further down still on horseback. We don't know what has happened to that mounted officer who clearly fell off his horse. I don't know if he's been injured because I can't see that from this point of view. Now the protesters right at the front towards those officers are really adopting a familiar pose that you've seen in the US, where they're getting on their knees, putting their hands up, saying "don't shoot" and "I can't breathe." But police pushing forward nonetheless, determined to move them now from Whitehall. They were happy to leave them here while the protests were